Hello everyone, welcome to Optiongig. This is your host Vivek Somani. I am an option trader by passion and a full-time software executive by profession. If you want to learn how to generate consistent monthly income trading options while working full-time in your day job, then join me in this journey. In today's session, we will cover moneyness of an option contract. As you start trading in options, you might have heard the terms the contract is in the money or the contract is out of money. So let's understand in this session what does those terms mean, what is moneyness. Okay, let's get started. So this is the agenda for today. What is moneyness? We will also understand how does moneyness and the state of moneyness apply to put options, and how does moneyness apply to call options, and next we'll see how the two parties, that is option buyers and option seller, they react to the moneyness state of an option contract. And eventually in the end, we will summarize. Okay, so first, what is moneyness? So the state of moneyness of an option contract, it tells us if the option contract is profitable or not. That's all. If by hearing whether the option contract is in the money or out of the money or at the money, as an option trader, you will be able to quickly come to a judgment if the option contract is profitable or not. Now, please remember that when we talk about moneyness, it is always viewed from the perspective of buyer of option contract, i.e., how does the option contract currently impacts the buyer and not the seller. Even though you are a seller of an option contract, but when you hear the term option contract is in the money, you have to flip it, your perspective, to see how does it impact the buyer of the contract, and hence you yourself as a seller will have an opposite impact. I know too many things, but we'll go through each one of these in a greater details in the next slides, and hopefully it will be very clear. So there are three flavors of moneyness of any contract. One is in the money. In the money means the contract as it stands today is profitable. For whom? For an option buyer. So if the contract is ITM or in the money, it is profitable for option buyer. If a contract is OTM or out of the money, the contract is making losses for the option buyer. And if the contract is ATM or at the money, it is neither profitable or nor it is making losses for the option buyer. So now let's look at what stage the option contract, a put option contract, becomes in the money or out of the money or stays at the money. How does the movement of a stock price impacts the moneyness of an option contract? Right now we will jump into the put option contract. Later we will also look into the call option contract. Okay, so for the put option contract, if a put option contract is considered out of the money if the stock price is greater than the option strike price. Why? Because let's view this from a perspective of option buyer. If the current stock price is more than the strike price of the option contract, then option buyer will not exercise this contract because this contract does not make sense to it. Why would an option buyer exercise a contract and exercise his right to sell the stocks at the strike price, which is lower than where the stock is currently trading in the market? That option buyer would rather sell and those stocks at the market price and not at a strike price. So this particular contract is not profitable, is not making sense for an option buyer, hence it is out of the money. The put option contract is out of the money if the stock price is greater than the strike price. Similarly, it is in the money if the stock price is less than the strike price. Just apply the reverse logic here from a perspective of option buyer. In this case, the stock price has fallen below the strike price, that is what exactly option buyer was thinking would happen, and that has happened, and the option buyer will immediately go and exercise this contract, because by exercising this contract the option buyer will be able to sell the stocks at the strike price, which is higher than the current stock price, and hence make money. So for a put option contract, it is in the money if the stock price is less than the strike price, and it is considered at the money, means neither making profits nor making loss if the stock price is equal to the strike price. Now let's view it how it looks like on this line graph. This bar you see is the strike price, and anything to the left of the strike price means if the stock price is less than the strike price, it's a profitable zone for a put option contract buyer. If the stock price is more than the strike price, means if it is on the right hand side of the strike price, it is out of the money and it is a loss zone for the put option contract buyer. And if the stock price stays at the strike price, it's an at the money. Alright, now this is how the profit and loss diagram of a put option buyer is. Of a long put option, this is how the P&L diagram is. Now if you clearly look at, stock goes higher than the strike price, it's a OTM, because now it is not making sense for an option buyer. But if it falls below the strike price, then it's making sense, it's making money for the option buyer. Okay, let's view the various state of moneyness for a call option contract. Again, like in the put option contract, we will view it from the perspective of the call option buyer. So let's take a step back and understand why would someone buy a call option contract. Someone would buy a call option contract, that is an option to call or to buy the shares at a strike price only if they are thinking that the stock price will go higher than the strike price in future. So when the stock price is actually higher than the strike price, that call option contract is making money for the call option buyer. That is what their outlook was. That exactly what happened. So a call option contract is called in the money if the stock price is greater than the strike price. Now conversely, a call option contract is called out the money if the stock price is less than the strike price at the time of expiration. Why? Because if the stock price is less than the strike price, then the option buyer will not be exercising its option to buy the stock at the strike price. If they really want to buy the stock, they will rather go and buy it from the market at the current price, which is less than the strike. And hence, it is the out of money contract. Lastly, if the stock price is same as the strike price, it is not a profitable, not a loss situation for the option buyer, and the contract is said to be at the money. Over a line graph, this is how it looks like. The picture is now reversed how it was on the put option contract. If the stock price is more than the strike price, it is a profitable zone. The contract is said to be in the money. If a stock price is less than the strike price, that is, if it is on the left hand side, it is considered out of the money and it is a loss zone. And if the stock price stays equal to strike price, it is at the money, neither profit nor losses. Alright, looking at a profit and loss diagram. Again, if the stock price is less than the strike price, it is out of the money, red zone. Stock price is more than the strike price, it is green zone, and it is considered in the money. Stock price stays at the strike price, it is at the money, no profit, no loss. Alright, some things to consider. We talked about this, that moneyness of an option contract is not constant. The moneyness of the option contract is dependent on where your current stock price is. And we all know stock price doesn't stay the same. It keeps on moving. And hence a moneyness of an option contract will continue to move. So it changes whenever the stock price changes. The strike price is constant when we signed up for an option contract. When we bought or sold an option contract, we picked up a particular strike price that stays the same throughout the expiration of the option contract. But the stock price keeps changing, and hence the relationship between the stock price and the strike price keep moving, and also the moneyness state will change. So something that is currently in the money could become out of the money because the stock price move. So as an option trader, we need to keep an eye on what is the current state of moneyness of the option contract. Now let's look at if it is in the money, how does the option buyers and sellers react to it? If it is in the money, it means it is making money. It is making money for an option contract buyer, so they are happy. The option contract buyer will always want an option contract to be in the money. On the contrary, it is not good situation for an option seller. They would want the contract to be stay out of the money. So they are not happy when the contract is in the money. If the contract is out of the money, reverse things. It's not a good situation for option buyer when the contract is out of the money, because we have seen that it means it is a loss zone for option contract buyers. Conversely, option contract sellers are very happy when the contract is out of the money, because if the contract is out of the money, option buyers will not exercise that contract. So the option sellers will retain the amount of premium money that they had got initially when they sold those options. So if the contract stays out of the money and it expires worthless, it is a good situation for option sellers, but not a good situation for option buyers. Now also look at what happens at an expiration time based on the state of moneyness. So if a contract option is in the money, means it's a profitable zone for option buyer, so the options buyers will exercise their right. So they will exercise this option contract, because that is how the buyer will be able to capture the profits. If the option buyers exercise, so it will get assigned to the option sellers. Now in case of out of the money options, it will expire worthless. Buyer will not exercise their option contract, and then their seller will not have to do anything. They will just retain the premium that they had initially got, and they will not be assigned any contract. Finally, this is a summary. Again, remember, moneyness is always viewed from the perspective of option buyer. Even if you are an option seller, when you talk ATM or ITM or out of the money, just view it from option buyer, and the impact on the option seller is opposite. Option buyers want the options to stay in the money because that is where they are able to make profits, and they will be exercising their option contracts. Option sellers would want options to stay out of the money so that it expire worthless, and they are able to retain 100% of the premium that they had initially got when they wrote that option contract. So that's all about moneyness of an option contract. I hope you found it useful. Thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, please write it in the comments or email it to me at optiongig@gmail.com. If you liked what you learned, please help us spread the word so others can also benefit from it.